Well, hello, everybody. This is Mel Allen Jr. I am so glad to be here today on this beautiful Thursday as we get ready for the second half of the baseball season. We have a lot to talk about here about the next half hour or so. I'm going to give you my league predictions. I'm just kidding, everybody. This is Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. It is now time for the second half of the MLB season. We start the second half of the Major League Baseball season tonight with a big matchup between the Yankees and the Red Sox. I'm going to address that. I'm also going to give you my predictions for who wins each division now. I've made some changes to that. I'm going to address that. And I'm also going to address something else. Is it time for a changing of the guard in New York and in Chicago? I will address that this afternoon. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here on this day. We're going to just go right into the show, and let's get started. Like I've said earlier, I have made some predictions and I've made some changes to the division winners. The first thing I'm going to address is the AL East. In the beginning of the season, I had the AL East going to the New York Yankees. I have made a change to that, and I have gone with the Boston Red Sox. What is going on, and why have I made that prediction? Well, let's think about this. Let's go back to May 31st for just a second. The Red Sox since then are 23-16, and the New York Yankees are only 17-19. The Yankee pitching, outside of Garrett Cole has had a great season. He has a 9-4 record with a 2.68 ERA and 147 strikeouts. After Garrett Cole, it turns into the starting pitching turns into a nightmare. Okay, here's a few cases in point. Domingo German, he has a 4-5 record with a 4.44 ERA and 75 strikeouts. Jordan Montgomery, he's only 3-4 with a 4.16 ERA and 95 strikeouts. I know he's only 5 strikeouts away from having 100, but still. Jameson Taillon, 4-4 record with a 4.90 ERA and 86 strikeouts. Garrett Cole is the only Yankee pitcher with more than 100 Ks this season. And if you look at the bullpen, Chad Green, 11 holes, 3 saves, a 2.89 ERA with 50 strikeouts to his credit. Aroldis Chapman, the Mets have lit him up. Think about that. And the Angels have too. And the Angels are dead last in the American League West. But anyway, Chapman has 16 saves, a 5-3 record, a 4.55 ERA, and 52 Ks on the season. That is what's going on with the Yankees. The Yankees hitting is not much better. I mean, Aaron Judge, he's hitting 282 with an OBP of 375. And he does have 21 home runs and 47 RBIs. He's about the only Yankee that anybody can brag about right now as far as the hitting department goes. I mean, you got LeMahieu, he's hitting 270. Urshela 255. Torres 240. Stanton 270. And right now, the Yankees are only hitting 236 as a team. That is not good. And let's think about that for a minute. And the truth of the matter is, the Yankees are struggling. And the Red Sox, they're just clicking on all those cylinders right now. Xander Bogaerts, he's hitting 321. And that is what everybody's been thinking about right now. And that's the truth of the matter. And the bottom line is this. The Boston Red Sox are going to win the AL East. And that's all there is to it. And I mean, JD Martinez, he's hitting 299 right now. And the bottom line is, the Boston Red Sox are doing great. I mean, Martinez, he's hitting he has 18 home runs, 62 RBIs. And I mean, Xander Bogaerts is just clicking on all cylinders. 321 batting average, 365 on base percentage, 103 hits. He leads the team in hits. 15 home runs, 51 RBIs. And the pitching for the Red Sox has just been superb. Nick Pivetta, 7-4 record with a 4.30 ERA. He has 113 Ks to his credit. Eduardo Rodriguez, he needs to get the ERA down. He has a 5.52 ERA and 104 Ks on the season. As far as the rest of the pitching goes, Nathan Eovaldi, a 9-5 record with a 3.66 ERA and 99 strikeouts to his credit. Matt Barnes, he's the best pitcher in the bullpen, and the Red Sox have. 19 saves, 4-2 record, 2.61 ERA, and 63 Ks to his credit. Adam Ovatino, 15 holds, 7 saves, 2-2 record. He's been Mr. Do-It-All. A 2.68 ERA and 43 Ks to his credit. The Red Sox are just doing everything right. That is why I've made my change to the predictions. The Yankees are going in the wrong direction. And as a matter of fact, we have a 4-game set between the Yankees and the Red Sox that starts tonight. And this 4-game set at Yankee Stadium is going to tell the story. If the Yankees want to get back into it, the first thing they need to do, they got to take 3 out of 4, at least, low end. The Yankees they cannot get a split. But if they can get a sweep of the Red Sox this weekend, they're right back in it, in my opinion. They'll still have a ways to go. But the 4-game set at Yankee Stadium will tell the story. And a lot of people have said it's time for Aaron Boone to be fired. I don't know about that. But the truth is, the Yankees need to have somebody light a fire under them if they want to have any chance. I mean, right now the Yankees are hitting .236 as a team. The Red Sox are hitting .259. Now, the team ERA for the Yankees is pretty good. Okay? The Yankees have a 3.79 ERA. The Red Sox have a 4.09. And the truth is, I'm going with the Boston Red Sox to win the AL East now because the Yankees haven't done much of anything all season. Back in April, they were the laughing stock of the league. They've all thought they've gotten back into it. Now all of a sudden, they're starting to struggle again, and they're 8 games out. And I hate to say this, but we're not going to see a replay. The way the Yankees are playing right now, we're not going to see a replay of 1978 when the Yankees come out of nowhere and catch the Red Sox and force a 1-game playoff. I'm sorry, people. That's not happening. The Yankees have no fire under them right now. If you lose 2 or 3 against the New York Mets, that's enough to get my attention. So therefore, my AL East prediction has changed. I'm going with the Boston Red Sox to win the AL East. And that's the truth of the matter. And you've just found out why. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about the American League Central. I have made no change to my prediction. I'm going with the Chicago White Sox to win the American League Central. Now, everybody said, Scott, the Central is weak. Okay, I understand that. The Indians are struggling. They really should make some noise at the trade deadline. But the White Sox, they're just clicking on all cylinders right now. They have an 8-game lead over the Indians. They're going to win the division, barring some wacky, off-the-wall, strange miracle. I know it's kind of odd that the way I just put it. However, at the end of the day, here's the truth. I see the White Sox. They're going to win the American League Central. They may have the Central wrapped up before the start of October, or at least by the middle of September, the way they're playing right now. The White Sox are 19 games above 500. They're leading the division, and they're doing everything right. Tim Anderson, he's hitting .309 with 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. He leads the team in hits with 96, and he has 14 stolen bases. Think about that. Jose Abreu, great job in support. 15 home runs, 66 RBIs. Jan Moncada, he's hitting .272 with an on-base percentage of .401, 5 home runs and 31 RBIs. He knows how to get on base at the clutch time. Andrew Vaughn, a .253 batting average with 10 home runs, 26 RBIs. And right now, the White Sox are hitting .257 as a team. That is how the White Sox are in first place in the American League Central. And I know I got a lot of Cleveland fans watching saying, boo. But it's the truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. And on top of that, the White Sox have an outstanding pitching staff. Listen to these numbers. Lance Lynn, he has a 9-3 record with a 1.99 ERA and 105 strikeouts to go with it. Carlos Rondon, he has a 7-3 record with a 2.31 ERA, and he leads the strikeouts with 130. Dylan Cease, he has a 7-4 record with a 4.11 ERA, 117 strikeouts, and Lucas Giotto, a 7-6 record with a 4.15 ERA and 125 strikeouts to his credit. Those 4 pitchers alone in the White Sox pitching staff, those starters, 477 strikeouts between the 4 of them. You tell me, would you change your mind on the White Sox winning the American League Central? I wouldn't. And on top of that, the White Sox have a pretty good bullpen. Liam Hendricks, 23 saves, a 2.75, with a 4-2 record, a 2.75 ERA, and 63 strikeouts to his credit. Cody Dalton-Heuer, 14 holds. He knows how to get the job in the middle, how to be a middle reliever. He's a great middle reliever. A 4-1 record to go with it. A 4.84 ERA. Let's get that ERA down a little bit. And he does have 36 strikeouts to his credit. The White Sox are hitting .257 as a team, and they got a team ERA of 3.50. That is why I am sticking with the Chicago White Sox to win the American League Central. I'm gonna jot this down just in case you are tuning in late, and I want to be fair to everybody. Boston Red Sox to win the AL East. Now we're back in. Now, the American League West. This is a division I've had to make a change to. I'd originally picked the Oakland A's because I figured the Houston Astros were going to be down and out. Surprise, surprise. They're leading the American League West by 3.5 games going into the second half of the season. And this is a big weekend. So what's going on? The Oakland A's have a really excellent pitching staff, but the hitting is what needs to work. Case in point, Matt Olson, he's hitting .258. He's hitting .288 with 23 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 88 hits on the season. Mark Canha, he's hitting .255 with a on-base percentage of .375, 11 home runs, and 33 RBIs. Jed Lowry, he's hitting .263 with 10 home runs, 42 RBIs, and Ramon Laurinaro, he may be hitting .242 with 13 home runs, 31 RBIs, but he does have 11 stolen bases to his credit. And the truth of the matter is this. Now, to be fair, the Oakland A's are hitting .232 as a team. And that's what's going on right now. But the pitching for the A's has been pretty good. Chris Bassett, a 10-2 record with a 3.25 ERA and 118 strikeouts to his credit. Sean Monero, a 6-6 record with a 3.19 ERA, 108 Ks. And Frankie Montes, an 8-7 record with a 4.41 ERA and 105 strikeouts to his credit. The starting pitching for Oakland has either been on or off this season. And I've noticed that, and I've taken note of that. And the truth of the matter is, the Oakland pitching needs just a little bit of a tweak up. But in the bullpen, they got a pretty, and I'll say this, though, the Oakland A's have a really good bullpen. Yusmeiro Petit, 16 holds, 2 saves, a 7-1 record with a 3.09 ERA and 23 strikeouts to his credit. Lou Trevino, 14 holds, 14 saves, 6 holds, a 3-3 record with a 1.84 ERA and 41 strikeouts to his credit. Right now, the Oakland A's as a team have a 3.80 ERA. And to be fair to you, they've been doing pretty well. But the hitting really needs some work. You can't hit .232 and expect to go and try. It's not happening. And the reason why I've made some changes to the predictions for the Houston Astros over the American West is very simple. Michael Brantley, he's hitting .326 right now with 5 home runs, 31 RBIs. I know it doesn't sound much, but when you're hitting .326, you're going to get some attention. Carlos Correa, he has a 288 batting average, an on-base percentage of .385, 16 home runs, 52 RBIs, enough to get your name in the paper. Jose Altuve, he's hitting .278 with 20 home runs and 55 RBIs this season. Yuri Gurriel, he's hitting .313. That's enough to get my attention with 10 home runs and 54 RBIs on the season. And if you look at the batting average, and I forgot to write that down, so I'm going to take a ballpark estimate on this one, and I apologize for that. Right now, the Houston Astros are hitting about .250. Gotta be. But if you also look at the hitting and the pitching for the Astros has been really good. Zach Greinke, a 5-3 record with a 3.59 ERA, 85 strikeouts to his credit. Luis Garcia, a 6-5 record with a 3.06 ERA and 97 strikeouts to his credit. The Houston Astros have a really good pitching staff. They got some good starters, but they got some good relievers too. Ryan Stanley, 11 holds, 1 save, a 1-1 record with a 3.99 ERA and 46 strikeouts to his credit. Ryan Priestley, 16 saves, 1 hold, a 4-1 record, a 1.42 ERA and 48 strikeouts to his credit. The team ERA for the Houston Astros is 3.60. That would be enough to get my attention. And the bottom line is, I made my prediction. I've changed my prediction for the Houston Astros. For the Houston Astros to win the American League West. We write this down here. Here we go. Just in case you're tuning late, you want to follow along, that'd just be fine. Okay. Now that's the American League. Let's move on to the National League. And this is one, there's 2 divisions that are so tight, it's not even funny. And there's one division with one team above 500 I'm not making any changes to. Let's see. The National League East. I'll get the easy one out of the way first. I'm making no change to the NL East. I'm sticking with the New York Mets to win the NL East. Dominic Smith, he's been hitting .252 all year with 9 home runs, 37 RBIs. Francisco Lindor, he's getting much better now, the former Indian. He has a .227 batting average, 11 home runs, 36 RBIs, leads the team in hits with 70, 8 stolen bases. Pete Alonso, Mr. Home Run Derby, Mr. 35 home runs in the Home Run Derby, I should say. He's hitting .250 with 17 home runs and 49 RBIs. Now, I grant you the Mets are hitting .231 as a team. And a lot of people have said, why are you sticking with the Mets? Well, I look at it like this. The Mets are the only team above 500 in the National League East. And everybody says that the National League East is a train wreck. I will agree with that. The National League East is a train wreck. I was originally going to go with the Atlanta Braves coming out of nowhere. But when Ronald Acuna Jr. got hurt and he's out for the season, I took the Braves out. So that is why. And I grant you the Philadelphia Phillies are still in the hunt. However, at the end of the day, the Mets win the East, and that's just one part of the picture why. But if you look at the pitching, Jacob deGrom, that's all you need to know. 7-2 record with a 1.08 ERA, 146 strikeouts to his credit. And on top of that, everybody, pay attention to this. He's the National League MVP as far as I'm concerned. Marcus Stroman, he's had some struggle. He has a great ERA, but he's kind of struggled in the win-loss department. He has a 6-7 record with a 2.75 ERA and 83 strikeouts to his credit. I would like to see Stroman get a couple of real good quality starts. I would really like to see that out of him. And Taijuan Walker, he has a 7-3 record with a 2.50 ERA and 69 strikeouts to his credit. Some really good starting pitching. One that I'd like to see a couple more quality starts out of before I start bragging. But the bullpen for the Mets has been really good. Aaron Loup, he has 9 holds on the season, a 3-0 record with a 1.61 ERA and 34 strikeouts to his credit. Edwin Diaz, 19 saves, a 3-3 record. Wow. A 3.25 ERA and 50 strikeouts to his credit. Right now, the New York Mets team ERA is 3.43. So I've looked at everything. I know the National League East is weak in the minds of a lot of people. But at the end of the day, I am going to go with the New York Mets. I'm going with the New York Mets to win the National League East. And that's all there is to it, my friends. That is all there is to it. All right. Now that's the NL East. Let's move on to the nightmare of the National League Central. This was a division that gave me the most grief. Even my sister felt sorry for me for trying to pick a winner on this one. What is going on in the National League Central? Well, right now, it's a mess of things. The St. Louis Cardinals, I originally had them winning the division. But after doing a lot of soul searching, the NL Central may be a toss-up. Give me a few games, and I'll give you an idea. I almost wanted to say, let me get back to you on that one. So what's going on? But for right now, I'm going to cautiously stick with the St. Louis Cardinals, subject to change on that one. You'll see why here in a minute. Right now, the team batting average for the Cardinals is .230. Paul Goldschmidt, he's at .265, 13 home runs, 49 RBIs. Nolan Arenado, he's at .265, 17 home runs, 56 RBIs on the season. Tommy Edman has been the guy that stepped up. He's hitting .258 with 5 home runs, 25 RBIs, 93 hits, 16 stolen bases. Look out for him. He's going to have a breakout second half. Dylan Carlson, a .255 batting average with a .343 on-base percentage, 7 home runs, and 31 RBIs. So far, the team batting average for the Cardinals has been .230. It's not good. It's good, but it's not great. Jack Flaherty, and also the pitching for the Cardinals has been good, but not great too. Jack Flaherty, he has a 5-1 record with a 2.90 ERA and 67 strikeouts to his credit. Adam Wainwright, he has a 7-5 record with a 3.58 ERA, 99 strikeouts to his credit. He's only one strikeout away from having 100 for the season. Alex Reyes, one of the best in the bullpen that the Cardinals have. 20 saves on the season. He's been the bright spot. A 5-3 record with a 1.52 ERA, 54 strikeouts to his credit. He's been the bright spot for the Cardinals pitching staff. And Giovanni Gallegos, 13 holds, 1 save, a 5-2 record with a 2.72 ERA, 54 strikeouts to his credit. The team ERA for the St. Louis Cardinals is 4.24. The Cardinals are 8 games back because they've had a tough start to the start of June. Right now, the Cardinals are only 14-23 since the start of June. That's enough to kind of spook you a little bit. And they're 4-5 to start the month of July. So why am I picking the Cardinals? It's very simple. If you think what the Brewers have done, you're going to be shaking your head. And how are they in first place in the National League East, in the National League Central by 4 games? Keep in mind, the Cincinnati Reds took 3 of 4 from the Brewers in Milwaukee. And I'll get to the Reds here in a bit. I'll get to them. The Milwaukee Brewers, right now, if you stop and think about this, 2 bright spots and a weakness in the hitting department. Avisel Garcia, he's hitting .256 with 16 home runs, 55 RBIs, and 73 hits. Luis Urias, he's hitting .237 right now with a .388 on-base percentage, 12 home runs, 42 RBIs, and he's got 5 stolen bases. All right, Jackie Bradley Jr., and this is the low spot. Right now, despite the fact Bradley Jr. has 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, and 5 stolen bases, he's only hitting .167. That would be enough to spook me right there. And the team batting average for the Milwaukee Brewers is the lowest in the National League at .220. That is how the Reds managed to take 3 of 4 from the Brewers in Milwaukee. Keep that in mind. But the Brewers have some quality pitching. Brandon Woodruff, a 7-4 record with a 2.06 ERA, 129 strikeouts to his credit. Freddie Peralta, a 7-3 record with a 2.39 ERA and 135 Ks to his credit. And the best pitchers in the bullpen that the Brewers have is Devin Williams, 15 holds, a 6-1 record, a 2.97 ERA, 52 strikeouts to his credit. Josh Hader, 21 saves, 3-2 record with a 1.49 ERA. The team ERA for the Milwaukee Brewers is pretty good. They have a 3.44 ERA as a team, but they're only hitting 220. That's the problem. And that is why I am not picking the Brewers to win the National League Central unless they get that batting average up. Bradley Jr.'s got to have a breakout second half. And that's all there is to it. Now, I grant you the Brewers are 24-14 since the start of June, but they're only 5-6 to start July. That's the main concern. That has always been my concern about that. And that's the truth. Now, the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds, did the Reds get the memo that they're supposed to be bad? Apparently not. But anyway, the Cincinnati Reds are 24-14 since the start of June. And they got the best record of all with 9-2 since the start of July. How in the world have the Reds have done it? Well, let's see. Quality hitting and some pretty good pitching. And that's all there is to it. Nick Castellanos, a 331 batting average, 18 home runs, 59 RBIs. He leads the team in hits with 111. Jesse Winker, a 301 batting average, 19 home runs, and 50 RBIs on this season. And Jonathan India, a breakout year for him. A 275 batting average with a 397 on-base percentage, 6 home runs, 35 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, and the team batting average is 249. That is really good. And the Reds are only 4 games back of the Brewers of the National League Central. The pitching for the Reds has been real good. Wade Miley, a 7-4 record with a 2.80 ERA and 76 strikeouts to his credit. Tyler Mahle, a 7-3 record with a 3.68 ERA and 118 strikeouts to his credit. The Reds have some good pitching. And the bullpen, I would like to see some bullpen help from the Reds. Now, Lucas Sims, he has 7 saves, 3 holds, a 4-1 record, but he does have a 5.02 ERA. Bring that ERA down, man, just a little bit. And he does have 44 strikeouts to his credit. I'll give him that. TJ Anton, 8 holds, 3 saves, a 2-0 record, a 1.87 ERA, and 42 Ks to his credit. And the team ERA for the Reds is 4.38 to be fair. So everybody's asking me, Scott, why are you picking the Cardinals to win? Pick the Cardinals to win the National League Central. They're 8 games back. I look at it like this. The Reds, if they can get a sweep of the Brewers at home, it may give the Cardinals a chance to catch up. To catch up a little bit. Now the Cardinals start a series against the Giants, the leaders in the National League West. But I remember what happened the last time. The Cardinals took 2 or 3 from San Francisco. I haven't forgot about that. So I've been doing a lot of soul searching. So I am going to cautiously go with the St. Louis Cardinals. NL Central, I am going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals, but I'm going to put an asterisk next to it. Here. There we go. So there's my prediction for the National League Central. I'm putting an asterisk next to the Cardinals, so if I don't see any changes by then, there will be another subject to change. All right. Let's move on to the National League West. This is a division that's going to have everybody thinking, how in the world are the Giants leading the division? Now, when the season started, I said it was going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the National League West. I am sticking with that prediction. And here's why. Justin Turner, he's hitting .305 right now with 15 home runs, 50 RBIs, and 93 hits. Max Muncy, he's hitting .270 with a 414 on-base percentage, 19 home runs, and 52 RBIs. Chris Taylor, he has a 277 batting average, 10 home runs, 46 RBIs, 8 stolen bases on the year. And right now, as a team, the Dodgers are hitting .244. But the pitching has been really good. I left out Trevor Bauer, and I'm not going to include him, just to be fair. Julio Urias, he has an 11-3 record with a 3.64 ERA and 119 strikeouts to his credit. Walker Buehler, a 9-1 record, a 2.36 ERA and 114 Ks on the season. Clayton Kershaw, he's kind of dropped back a little bit. He's going to be my number 2 or number 3. But Kershaw has a 9-7 record with a 3.39 ERA and 127 strikeouts to his credit. And I'll give him that any day of the week. I had to take a drink there. Kenley Jansen, 21 saves, a 1-2 record despite that. But he does have a 1.24 ERA and 41 Ks to his credit. The Dodgers have a pretty good bullpen. Blake Tarian, 17 holds, 3 saves, a 2-4 record, a 2.70 ERA, and 42 strikeouts to his credit. The team ERA for the Dodgers is 3.14. Now, for the San Francisco Giants, they do have a 2-game lead in the National League West. I grant you. So, keep in mind, the Giants have been without Buster Posey. Have been out with either Brandon Crawford with Buster Posey. Yeah, it was Buster Posey who got hurt a while back. But anyway, Brandon Crawford, right now, he's hitting .289 with an OBP of 364 for the Giants. 15 home runs, 56 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, and 77 hits. But he's also had some good support from Mike Yastrzemski, a .234 batting average with 12 home runs, 34 RBIs. Wilmer Flores, he's hitting .255 with 9 home runs and 30 RBIs on the season. Pretty good support in that department. And the team batting average for the Giants right now is .245, and that's really good, despite all the injuries that they have had. Now for the pitching, and this is what I find interesting. Anthony Descalafari, he has a 10-3 record with a 2.68 ERA. He has 99 strikeouts. He's only 1 strikeout away from having 100 for the season. Kevin Guzman, a 9-3 record with a 1.73 ERA and 133 strikeouts to his credit. Now Alex Wood, he has an 8-3 record with a 3.67 ERA and 87 Ks to his credit. But the bullpen for the Giants has been pretty good. Jake McGee, 19 saves, 6 holds. A 3-2 record with a 2.73 ERA and 41 strikeouts to his credit. Tyler Rogers, 17 holds. He's got 10 saves, a 1-0 record with a 1.47 ERA and 24 Ks to his credit. Now the team ERA for the Giants is 3.26. Keep that in mind. It's going to be LA and San Francisco for the division. Unless the Padres can get hot. And the Padres are sitting 6 games back. I could see the Padres making some noise down the stretch. Fernando Tatis Jr. For the Padres, and I'm going to mention them in this, to be fair. Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres, he has a 2.86 batting average, 26 home runs, 60 RBIs, 20 stolen bases. Give the guy some love. Manny Machado, he's hitting .267 right now with 15 home runs and 60 RBIs. Tommy Pham, he's hitting at .287 with a .367 on-base percentage, 9 home runs, 30 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. Give him some love. Jake Cronworth, he's hitting .276 right now with 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, and 94 hits on the season. The team batting average for the Padres is .241. Keep that in mind. The pitching for the Padres has been really good. Yu Darvish, he has a 7-3 record with a 3.09 ERA and 125 strikeouts to his credit. Joe Musgrove, now despite the 5-7 record, he does have a 2.93 ERA and 116 Ks to his credit. But as far as the bullpen goes, let's give some love to the bullpen. Mark Malinon, 27 saves, a 2-1 record, a 2.04 ERA, and 31 strikeouts to his credit. Tim Hill, 12 holds, 1 save, a 5-4 record, a 2.52 ERA, and 39 Ks to his credit. The team ERA for the Padres is 3.41 in a hotly contested National League West. So, with all of that being said, at the end of the day, I am going to go with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers to win the American League, to win the National League West. So there you have it, folks. There are my division winners. Take a good long look at them, and you'll see what I mean. And I'm telling you this. Whoever can take their respective divisions are going to earn it. Now, I do have an asterisk next to the Cardinals, just to be fair, because they've been having some struggles. But I do look for Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt to have breakout second halves. I am really looking forward to that. So there are my prediction winners. There are my division winners right there, and those are my predictions. I made some changes, like I said, but it's going to come down to who wants it the most. And you notice I put the White Sox down to win the American League Central and the Mets to win the National League East, which brings me to a couple of good points. Is it time for a changing of the guard in New York and Chicago? Now, the New York Mets are having a great season. They're 7 games above 500, and I know they're in a rather weak National League East. I grant you. But the American League East, the Yankees are 8 games back, and they're just about down and out. So is it time for everybody to be talking about the Mets? I say yes. And as a matter of fact, in my opinion, if you put Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher for the Mets, and Garrett Cole, the best pitcher for the Yankees, on the mound in a battle between the Mets and the Yankees, deGrom takes it because he's red hot. I can see him striking on Aaron Judge any day of the week. And that's a fact. And as far as a changing of the guard in Chicago, the Chicago White Sox, everybody in Chicago has been too busy talking about the Cubs and how bad they are. And they're saying, oh, the Cubs are playing bad. Well, how about giving some love to the White Sox? The White Sox are 19 games above 500. They're going to win the American League Central, barring some off-whack job, idiotic nightmare. The White Sox deserve some love outside of the south side of Chicago. And I'm going to give them some love, and they've earned it. They have a great pitching staff, 4 pitchers with 100 strikeouts or more. And how come the White Sox are not getting the love? Some of these people at Sports Center, they need to quit talking about the Cubs and how bad they are. They need to start talking about the White Sox and how good they are. And it frustrates me, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for manager Tony La Russa. I feel bad for Tim Anderson. He's having a great year, hitting .309. How come nobody's singing his praises? That's what I would love to see happen. So is it time for a changing of the guard in Chicago? Yes, it is. What about New York? I say yes for the time being as far as the Mets and Yankees go. But as far as the Cubs and the White Sox go, it's time for a changing of the guard in the city of Chicago. All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys so much for taking this time with me today. You have my prediction winner. You have my division winner predictions right here. I will show you I will go ahead and post this on my Facebook page. But I want to thank you guys so much for taking this time with me here this afternoon. I will be back here tomorrow at 12 noon for the Scott Manning YouTube Weekend Kickoff Show. And I want to thank you guys so much for taking this time with me here today. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Goodbye, everybody, and I thank you.